Welcome to Canva for Beginners. So what I'm going to do, if you see my eyes flicking from side to side, I have 4 screens open in front of me, one with Canva on, one with PowerPoint on, one with my Zoom on. So it's not that I'm ignoring you, I'm just looking around all the time. I'm going to start off with a small presentation on Canva, just give you some idea of why I choose Canva. Meeting's been live streamed, share screen, share screen, share. I'm trusting that you can see my screen at the moment.
Yes, we can.
Great, thank you. Okay, so Canva for Beginners, quite simple. A little bit of introduction. My name is Mike Sade. I use the kind of, Mike Said What, so you'll find my website at Mike Said What, you'll find me on Instagram at Mike Said What, you'll find me on Facebook at Mike Said What. Please feel free, if anything comes up for you, you're welcome to email me on mike@mikesaidwhat.co.za. And you're also welcome to WhatsApp me. I respond to WhatsApps pretty quickly. But please no voice notes. I actually just ignore them. I have this. Can maybe someone mute everyone from the control panel? It might be easier, Trace. Okay, not to worry. So please feel free to contact me if something comes up. As I said, Mike Said What. I'm on WhatsApp on 081-398-2190. And as I say, please absolutely no voice notes. They drive me completely insane. So why choose Canva? First of all, it's an amazing online development tool. You can have it on your phone, you can have it on your iPad, you can have it on your computer. Once you have an account, they're all linked. So I can design something on my desktop, go to a client, make a change on my phone, upload it, send it to them. Of course, working on your phone is a lot more difficult. Working on a device kind of this size is a lot more difficult. And I'll show you Canva quickly while we're here. There's Canva. So I'm working on something like really, really small when I'm working on Canva on my phone, but it's okay for doing something really quick or doing something on the fly. And that's it. So it's online. It is very, very easy to use. It might not be very easy to master, but it's very, very easy to use. And as you start doing it more and more, you'll become better and faster. So as you see my mouse flicking through all the things and I know where everything is, it's only because I've been doing it for a couple of years. And you too will pick up those skills really, really quickly. It's extremely powerful. It's quite amazing what this little piece of software, this online software can do. It's actually Australia, a young woman in Australia who designed it. The company is actually worth billions at the moment. I'm talking about Australian dollars. Incredible tool, does really, really well. It has some absolutely amazing features. What I like most about them is that it's also evolving. So they're constantly adding new features to it. So just when I think Canva can't get any better, they come up with something. And what they do with Canva users is they poll us every now and again and ask us what features we'd like to see. And it's amazing how many of those features are coming up time and time again. When I first started using Canva, for example, there was no shadow effect on the letters. And you had to fake that by duplicating the one and then changing its transparency. There was always a workaround, but they've got better and better and better at it. And it's also 100% free to use if that's what you choose. There is a free and a paid version. I need to talk about that because I do use the paid version. And if you have got the money to pay for it, I highly recommend the paid version. It's worth every cent that it costs me every single month. So what is the difference between the two? Like, you'll see it for free, it's $0, and for the paid version, it's about $9.95, about 150 Rand a month. And it really is worth it to me. I'll tell you some of the real differences. But first of all, a quick disclaimer, I do not work for Canva. I don't get commission. I don't get referral commission. So if you decide to go ahead, that's cool. I should actually talk about getting some referral commission, but that's not my thing. The difference between the paid and the free version, first of all, on my version, my paid version, I get access to hundreds of thousands of images. So as you go into Canva, I'll show you a bit later on, if we choose an image and it has a little crown next to it, that means that it's a paid piece of software, sorry, a paid image, and you'll have to pay extra to use it. So that's number one. The second thing is that I'm able to develop what are called brand kits. So for example, when I'm working with my own clients, I can add their colors, their logo, their fonts to a particular brand kit and keep everything in the same place. I'm also able to develop my own templates. So I can create a template and then use it over and over again. And very, very important for me is there's something called the magic resizer. So I can create a Facebook advert and then I can click one button and it'll automatically change it to whichever I choose, whether it be LinkedIn or Instagram, or if I want it for a phone, and that magic resizer. But the one thing that I like about it more than anything else, it has something that enables me to download things as a transparent PNG. In other words, I can create a logo, I can make it transparent, and then I can set that against other things. And for those things alone, and there are other features as well in the paid version, but for those features alone, I would invest in the paid version if you're able to. They also, I was looking at their pricing. Let me just quickly click on that screen at the moment. They have pricing free, they have the pro, they have the entrepreneur, they also have education, and they have nonprofits. So I don't think there's any problem in applying to see if you can maybe become a nonprofit or see what the scholar rate is, and then you'll probably get it even cheaper than Canva. So I'm going to teach you how to use Canva. I'm going to show you around, but the one thing that you won't learn from Canva are kind of how to design and what makes good design. So what I'm going to do before I even start that is I'm going to tell you 10 basic design rules and how they work. Here we go. Number one is you need to understand whenever you design something, make sure that it is readable. That's probably the number one thing. When I look at someone sends me design, I look at it and I go, I actually can't read what you're writing. You've either made the fonts too small, or people love to use all caps, which is totally overpowering. The contrast is not right. So we use a light green on a dark background. They're just, the first thing you do when you look at your design is you say to yourself, is this readable? And not to someone who knows. So for example, you know what you wrote there, so it's easy for you to see. But what if you handed something to someone for the first time? The second big mistake I see is what is called line length. In other words, how we stretch our words across the page. Don't be scared of what's called white space or that little space on the outsides. Your words don't have to touch both sides of the page. Make sure that where the eye concentrates is where you see it. Number three is you need to look at what's called hierarchy. And hierarchy is how important certain things are. So for example, if you're having a sale, you might have the word sale really big. If you're having 2 for 1, then 2 for 1 might be really big. And so you look at what's important and where you want people's eyes to jump. Now, those two pieces of writing you have on the screen at the moment, both of them have the exact same information. The first one looks like a text message. Dear Jane, you invite to John's birthday. The other one, look how quickly your eye quickly goes, oh, it's John's 21st birthday party. When is it? It's on Saturday. Oh, I must RSVP. All the other details are kind of incidental. But what they've done is that they've certainly made sure that you can see what you need to see. The next thing to look out for is what's called alignment. In other words, am I going to left align, right align, center align, or justify my text? Wherever possible, I avoid justified text. That's kind of what you see in a newspaper. There's too many little white gaps and words that spread across. Most of the time, like everyone else, we'll do left align. When we do titles, we'll probably do center align. And if we're placing something around the image, we might do right align. But it's also very important to have the right alignment there. Then remember, sorry, I just jumped across one too fast. Please remember that your eye sees things in a grid. It's also known as the rule of thirds, and I'll talk about that just now in a bit of design. But your eye does see things in little grids, and you need to try and work out, let's keep all the pictures on the left, all the writing on the right. Let's go one picture left with some writing, one picture right with some writing. So it's very important to understand, and this goes back to readability. The next thing, number 6, is please understand who your audience is that you're designing for. So for example, there's a nice example there of a children's concert. The one on the right looks so formal, it looks like it could be a symphony concert. And on the one on the right-hand side, light, fun font, because that's where you're dealing with. And on the same token of the audience, please understand that color then comes into effect as well. So for example, flowers, you would put more in a bright color, like a pink or whatever, and paintball in a dark one, and also the kind of fonts you use. So just try and think who my audience is and who am I talking to and what will they like. And then of course, there's a choice of fonts, which is just something that also can make me insane when I see people's designs. On the font side, sorry, I just jumped across a bit fast. On the font side, if you're going to use what are called design fonts or fancy fonts, you use them for one thing only. Don't expect people to be able to read everything in a design font. So most of the time, what you want is a simple font, and you'll get two kinds of fonts. There's something called a serif font and a sans serif font. The one you're looking at there under "This is my title," that's a serif font. In other words, each of those pieces of font have a little, like almost a little flick to them. Whereas a sans serif font is a very straight font. The font at the top there, by where it says 8 design font, that's a sans serif font. It's a little bit more modern, cleaner, and just has a slightly different look to it. Then the next thing to look out for is that your colors. You need to understand that people, for example, you can't see green on red. It just doesn't stand up, or red on green. Those are colors that just absolutely clash. So what you want to do is have colors that are easy on the eye and easy to look at. So for example, yellow on black or orange on black is very, very powerful, or white on black. Blue and reds work well together, but you'll come across it. And then finally, when it comes to your design, please do your best to keep it simple. Don't over elaborate. These are images. People are going to see them for a couple of seconds. Most of the time, what we want the image to do is actually to support some text or to support the description. So don't do that. Now, what I did was I came across 4 outstanding videos on YouTube. They're not my videos. I found them. They really are great. But what I've done is I've uploaded it to my website to make it easy for you. So if you pop along to my own website at mikesaidwhat.co.za, and I'll post that for you a bit later on again, and you click on videos, when you get to the video section, you scroll all the way down and you'll find a section they call graphic design videos. And you'll see those short videos. They're about 5 or 6 minutes each on layout and composition, typography and font, how to use colors, and fundamentals. It'll take you about 20 to 25 minutes to watch all these videos, and I highly recommend that you watch them. They'll give you some really good insight into what separates good design from great design, and even bad design from good design, because it's no use we go into Canva, we learn all these skills, and then the things we put together just end up looking like a mishmash for everyone else. So that's it. The one rule that I really want to teach you about quickly is just something known as the rule of thirds. When you open your phone and you start taking pictures, you can press a button called grid, and then all of a sudden those grids, those 2 lines across, 2 lines down, giving you a 9x9 grid to come up. And if you can start learning to use the rule of thirds in your design, even in your photography, you will notice a massive difference in the quality of your images. So for example, if you look at this picture over here, you will notice that the highlight of the couple is right there on one of those crossovers. And the sky and sea, the horizon, is using the bottom third, and the sky the top third. So just little things like that. If you learn to look at an image, move your camera around, stop putting everyone in the middle, stop putting the sky and the sun right in the middle, just you'll find very quickly how easy it is. There's another really nice example of how this person has used the rule of thirds by having trees on the outside third and the outside third, the statue in the middle, the street lamps happen to pop right on those dots. It's just really good use of the rule of thirds. Having been using online design for about the last, I don't know how many years I've been doing this, 10, 15 years online, I've built up a lot of what I call resources. So what I do is, and I know that Tracy already has it, and if she hasn't, I'll send it again. I will send you a list of free resources that I've come across, things that like really work for me. Free design things where you can do downloads, this little thing called 123 apps where you can edit video, you can edit sound, you can change things, you can take an MP3 and turn it into a WAV file, or the other way around. It's just, these are just great resources that I've come across. You're more than welcome to them. They're all free on the internet. I'll have a quick look and make sure that none of them, maybe I can even update some of them, but enjoy that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pop along to Canva, and we're going to start looking at some design, and I'm going to take you through some of the things that you're going to do. So what I'm going to do, and I have this printed out in front of me, is this is kind of what I want to cover in the short amount of time that we've got. So I'm going to be pretty quick. I'm going to talk to you about what you want to say. I'm going to talk to you about understanding who your audience is. I want you to say and saving the details. I'm going to talk about positioning. I'm going to talk about starting with the right size, choosing backgrounds, adding some text, font choices, how to make your font stand out, uploading your own font, text effects, adding elements, margins, frames, grids, duplicating an element, crop, hyperlinking, which happens in PDFs only, how to resize images, how to remove a background from a picture, adding your own pictures, and then I'll look at a few things. We'll get through as many of those as we can. I'm going to go through them pretty briefly. 1 week from now, I'm doing advanced Canva, When I do advanced Canva, I will take you through some of those things. So just kind of the last slide. This is it. Please remember, it's Mike said. Mike said what? Mike at Mike said what? Please feel free to WhatsApp me any questions and skip the voice notes. And with that, I'm going to stop that share. And I'm going to switch over to Canva itself. Are we seeing Canva? And someone just confirmed that Canva is on.
Yes, we are. We are.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is Canva. When you open Canva, depending on your device and your browser, you might see it slightly different to what I'm seeing. So for example, you might not see at the top here, these home template features, whatever. You might actually see what's called a hamburger, which is the 3 lines. You click on them, you open it, and then you'll find everything you need over there. But people often ask me, so what can you do with Canva? I'm just going to quickly run through a couple of examples. I use Canva to design logos. That's my new logo that I just finished designing. I do my design on there. Once I've got a design, I can then build my whole business card on here. I can export it as a print-ready PDF, and I can send it off to the printers like that by hitting the download button over there. But I'll show you there, and I can decide how I want it. I use Canva to help my clients. Here are some menus done for BB's Biltong and D's Delights. They give me the information. I lay it out for them, whatever they want. So I use it for that. I've learned to start now making my own presentations in Canva. It's even faster than PowerPoint. What it does is it gives me some really great templates to use. So what I can do is I can either present from Canva itself, or what I prefer to do is I export them as images, upload them to PowerPoint, and then I still present off PowerPoint because it has some features that I do prefer to use. But I'm now learning to build all my presentations in Canva. I also use Canva for my clients' marketing material. Those of you that know Lynn and the Gospel According to Wanda B. Lazarus, you'll have seen I do memes for her, I do marketing for her, everything on that. I use Canva to design t-shirts when I'm having a bit of fun. I want to design a t-shirt for myself for the fact that I'm turning 60. So onto Canva, design the t-shirt, print it, go and have it printed for me. Another t-shirt that I did for myself. You're never too old to do really crazy stuff. I think that's what it says. I also use Canva to design photo books. So this is a cookbook made for a family. There's the cover design. There's inside the design, all the pages, all the recipes. You'll see once again here that when I do the actual printing of the recipes, I'm trying to find a font that's very easy to read and use. Then I can simply print this out. I can send this off to the printers. Come on. Okay. And then also I love to use it for my memes. I'm constantly looking at either political or funny things that are happening, and I use it for memes. So all these things, this is Canva, unbelievably powerful. This is your home screen. Here's where we are. Now, the first thing we really want to do when you come onto Canva is decide for yourself what it is that you actually want to say. Why are you using Canva on this particular day? Are you going to create a CV, for example? You might want to create a one-page CV. And those of you that are in learnerships and looking for jobs, no problem. Come along to Canva, go to the home page, click over here and type in, I think the Americans call it CV. Let's see if CV comes up. Resume. There we are. Click on resume. Give it a second. Come on, internet. And there we go. There are endless templates for me to choose from. You'll see that some of them are marked pro. In other words, they're only available to people with a pro version, but there are so many of these free templates. I can simply go in here, I can choose the design that I want. I can say to myself, okay, I want a clean, neat one, or I'm a designer, I want something with a bit of design flair, or I'm going into restaurants or whatever it is, and I can choose my design from there. And it is absolutely so simple. I'd look here and I'd say, okay, I love this one over here, this Henrietta Mitchell. I click on it. There it is. Profile info, I can change anything, double click on that. Shouldn't try to type with caps on. Michael R. Said, done. 22-year-old. I'm not a 22-year-old. I'm definitely a 60-year-old professional. Canva teacher. And that's how easy it is. I've got everything I need to put together my CV, send it out there. If I'm not happy with it, I can go back here. I can look at other ones. I can look at that one. So okay, that one's better. It's just such an unbelievably powerful tool. So as I said, step number one is understanding what it is that we want to do. So let me just go back to the home page. And I could be doing anything. I could be doing a blank design. I could be doing a Facebook page. I can do an A4 document. I can do a presentation. I'm going to open, let's just open just a blank flyer. We'll work around on a blank flyer at the moment. So it comes up here. Internet's a little slow today. Not sure why. So I can decide now what kind of flyer I want to make. I can also search for something in the flyers. I can go, for example, I can say Valentine. There we are, Valentine's Day flyer. See if something comes. There we are. Pre-made Valentine's Day flyer, ready for me. I can add my own stuff. I can change logos. Everything I need is kind of ready for me. Let's say it's not a Valentine. Let's say I'm opening a coffee shop. Enter coffee shop, see what comes up there. Enter hairstylist. I don't actually see something else there. Just give me 1 second. Hair salon flyer. There's a hair salon flyer. I mean, Canva have done so much of the work for you that almost anything that you'd need to do is kind of there and ready for you to go with. So that's it. So now we need to understand who our audience is. And please look at these designs. Look how little writing is actually on the design. What you're going to do is you're going to put the writing into the description on Facebook or into the description. You're not going to try and fill this page with so much stuff that no one can read it. Every now and again, for example, you might want to do a little bit extra. So for example, there are the services that I offer, but I don't go to any great lengths to try and confuse you. I don't want you to sit there staring at my picture and trying to read my picture. That's what I really am trying to avoid. I want you to look at the picture and then love what you see. So I just want to quickly go back. So all I'm doing today is I just want to use a blank page to teach you a couple of things. So first of all, you really want to start with the right. You really do want to start with the right size. And by that, I mean understanding what it is you're designing. So I'll go back there, go back to my home page quickly. Oh, sorry, so I can't even see my camera's in the way. Home. So as I said, please just choose what it is that you're looking at. Start off by designing in the right size if you can help it. There are so many sizes. If you click on the button at the top, here's another way to start one. Click Create Design. And you'll get a drop down of everything. What do I want to do? I want to flyer. I want to make a video. I want to make a Facebook cover page. I want an infographic. I want to design someone's logo. Whatever it is, I can also put in a custom size. So for example, a client's asked me for something very particular. He has a very big banner and that banner is 2 meters. Sorry, let me just change this to centimeters. That banner is 2 centimeters by 200 centimeters by 100 centimeters. Click there. You must. Okay, sorry, it's got a limit to, let's just change that to millimeters for fun. But 500. I can make almost any size that I want, and I can upsize it from there, and then I get whatever size I want to design it. So now we know we have the right size. So now I want to design something for someone I need someone just to volunteer a business for me. One of the attendees.
Why don't you do AutoChat, or unless there's a business?
Okay, let's do AutoChat. No, let's do AutoChat.
Thank you.
let's do AutoJet and finish. So the first thing I want to do with my AutoJet poster, let's go back. What are we making here? We're making a flyer for AutoJet. And what we're going to advertise in this flyer is the fact that Mike Sade is doing Canva for Advanced next time. So the first thing I want to do is I want to change the background. Up here, there's a thing that says background color. I can click on that and you'll see that I have Aut's colors already in my palette because I do so much work with Aut and I want to get it right. So I can click on that and that'll give me the dark AutoJet color. I have a little company there called the Daily Coffee Shop. I might, for the sake of this, I'm not actually going to use the Aut color. I'm just going to use some different colors. I'm going to say, okay, here's the color that I've chosen. Or I might say, hang on a second, I don't really want that. I want to put a photograph behind there. And I'll click on photographs and I'll click in the word design because we're teaching design. There's graphic design. I want to find a nice graphic design background. Okay, let's, I'm just going to use this one right now. So there the image is, but as you can see, it's not filling the screen for me. So if I right click on it, I can put there, replace background. And all of a sudden that becomes the background. Now, another thing I might want to do is I might want to move it around. So if I hit crop, there's the crop button. I can now move it around slightly. I can say, okay, I want to show a little bit more of the lady. That's my background. Also, what I want to do with that background is I want to make it opaque or a little bit transparent. So I'm going to bring down, I know why, because I don't have because my background color is still, change the background color. Go back to photos, set image background, click on image, change transparency. I just want her lightly in the background so you can just see that there's some design there. So next thing I want to do is I want to tell you what I'm doing. Well, I'm doing Canva for beginners. So I really would like to get the Canva logo. So I'm going to pop along to my other screen. I'm going to go to Canva logo, look for that. Canva logo templates. Go to images. See if I can find a Canva logo. Got one here. Copy that. Come back to my Canva, press Control V, and there's the Canva logo. Put it smack. What I want you to notice is when I'm running this image, a lot of those purple lines pop up. So what Canva's done is it shows me when I'm centered. It also shows me when I'm center-centered. So in other words, if I want to get exactly in the middle, or it has margins, which it kind of recommends that you don't go outside to allow people a bit of space. So I'm going to put Canva up there. And we are doing now, I want to add some words to it, text. On the right-hand side, I clicked on the text, and I'm going to go advanced. I can drag and drop the font. Do you see what I'm doing there? I'm dragging and dropping the font, the corner, just to make it. I can position it to make it the size that I want. I can also change the size by going up the top there where size, and you'll see it's getting bigger and smaller at the moment. And I can also change the font. I can change it, for example, to a typewriter font or something that I've used before. I can go. They've got so many fonts here. Have a look through them. Look for ones. That's always a nice one. Bibes. For this one, let's give it a bit of a calligraphy feel to it because Canva Advanced. By the way, never looks good in all caps if you're using fancy fonts. Advanced with Mike Sade. I'm going to drag that out there. I want it to kind of line up. You can see it told me when I was in line with the other one, that broken purple line lets me know. So there we are at Canva Advanced with Mike Sade. So that's there. So now what I might want to do is change that particular color of my font. I click on the font there. The text colors are all there. And what Canva does, which is quite remarkable, it looks at other images that are in the document. So for example, there are photo colors. It tells me that that is the Canva color, and I can click on it and automatically get the Canva color so that it matches. Now, because it's that little bit blue, it's not standing out enough. So what I'm doing is I'm going to click on effects. There the effects come up. I can add a shadow to it. I can make that shadow a darker blue, so at least it stands up. I can change the amount that it's offset. I can bring it, in other words, I can bring it closer to or further away. If I don't like shadow, I can try something called lift, which is something that I use quite often. All it does is give a slightly gray background outside the letter. It just makes it stand up a little bit from the image. So Canva Advanced with Mike Sade. Going back to effects, I'm just going to take that effect off at the moment. There's none. Now, I want to give you some details about it. So the first thing I really want you to understand is when the course is. So I can look for something, I can look at all their templates, decide if I want to add one of their templates, or once again, let's choose that one, called Smooth and Tasty. Just delete, sorry, that stayed on there. And we are doing Canva Advanced, and we're doing it on the 24th of February. You can see February is a little bit big, so I'm just going to reduce the size. 24th of February. Want to be smack bang in the middle, and it's online. Join today. So just a simple little design that I'm doing. At the same time, I might think to myself, oh, that's looking a little bit boring. How can I liven up this thing? Well, I can go into something on the left here called elements. You can see that I clicked on the word elements. And now, once again, I can do a search. I'm going to search for design, hit design, and see what they offer me. Oh, I'm going to go to, sorry, I'm going to graphics. I only want graphics at the moment. I can look for something that I like. Not very exciting, but we'll find something that we Canva design, move it there, change the size. Once again, I can just change the color. I can go back to a color that I've used, or I can find another color, red color. Let's go with something a little bit. Let's go with red. We're going to that blue. This one here, I also want to change that to that same blue. And so you'll start playing and coming to little things. And that's how simple it is. You can add text. Now let's go back to a little bit more text for you. I'm going to go back to the text one. There's text. I'm just going to add a line of text here. I'm going to say, join us today. I'm going to show you some of the little funny effects that you can do with text just to make it stand out if you like. So the first thing I can do, I go into my effects where I was earlier, and you'll notice there's something there called, so let's look through all of them. Shadow just adds a shadow to it. Lift adds some lift to it. I can hollow it out. I can splice it, which is hollow with a bit of background. I can do this kind of echo effect. I can do a glitch effect with a bit of color, neon. I can even change the background, but let's go to none. What I am going to look at is this thing here called curve. So it gives me an option to actually even rotate my curve. I might even do it that way. If I want to make it like kind of fun, I'll put it there. Join us today. I'll go back to my elements. I want a set of eyes, because I want to make that look like a smiley face. And then I can hop in a couple of eyes there. How about a nose? Find a fun little nose. Make it smaller. Just tiny little things, fun things you can do. You can bend text. You can, if you don't like the bend text, go back to effects, straighten it out again. go back to bending, change it again. One of the things you might want to do with bend text, and I'm just going to show you some here, is I can come up here and there are a few other things I can do. So for example, I can do the spacing. I can look at the letter spacing, and with bend text, very often what you want is just a little bit more space between the letters to make it a little bit clearer. On this one here, what I can also do is I can change the line spacing. So that's very close. I might decide to separate it. There's almost nothing that you can't do on Canva. It's become increasingly powerful. So those are kind of text effects. Those are elements. You want to watch your margins. I'm just going to clear some of this off here because I'll just show you a couple of other things that we can do. So now I've gone back to my blank page. Now what I might want to do is I might want to add a different photograph instead of that. So I'll look at that one. I'm going to bring that photo over there. I can resize the photo as much as I like. I can move it around wherever I want it to be. I can also go into my own things that I've added. Like for example, I've got a whole lot of logos that I've added, and I'm pretty sure there's AutoJet somewhere. There's AutoJet. I can bring in the AutoJet logo. These are just images that I've done. There's Creatrix. There's stuff that I've done for clients before. There's a Canva logo. Obviously, I've used that before. I'm going to go back to photographs. And what I want to do is show you something quite remarkable here. And that is, let's look for a pop that hand there. As you can see, that hand's got a background. What Canva does, and it's only on the Pro version, unfortunately, is if you click on Edit Image, you will find something here called Background Remover. And by clicking on Background Remover, what it'll do is it'll remove the background and only leave the hand there. So I can use the hand as though it's an overlay on the original image. It does take a few seconds. There it is. All of a sudden it's blank, it's see-through. I can bring it in where I want it, crop it to the side there. Now what I might want to do is go to text, add a bit of text that says sign up today. And because what I want to do is I'm actually going to try and place it under the pencil there as though the pencil had written it. What I'll do is I'll go into my fonts and I'll look for a handwriting font. So when I click, I can type in there handwriting, and it'll show me all the handwriting fonts that I can choose from. Sign up today. If I don't like that one, try another one. Try another one. And another, there's a nice Canvas student font. Sign up today. Move it so just an incredible use of a background remover. You can do all these really fancy things, use your own design, come up with things that work for you, add elements, look at margins. Another thing that Canva offers, which is also quite incredible, I'm just going to delete stuff as we go along. If you go into the elements, and you'll notice that the elements are grouped into recently used lines and shapes, graphics, photos, videos, audio, there's curves, and there's something quite remarkable here called frames. If you click on frames, what it'll do is it'll give you a whole lot of shapes that you can add images to. So let's say I want to add 2 pictures. I'll add that there. It gives me already the kind of background. Now I'll go back to my photos, and I'm going to take this image here and I'm going to drag it into that little frame there, and it fits into that frame. I'm going to drag this one and it fits into that little frame over there. Now this is one element. I can do with it as I like. I can turn it. I can move it around a little bit. So there's AutoJet design. I can go back to my elements, go back to my frames, look for something else if I like it. I want to make it look like this is on a mobile. Turn it like that. Let's find a nice picture to put into the phone. We need something that'll, let's just use this one for now. Drag it, put it into the phone, click the crop button, which means I'm able to move it around a little bit. Oh, no, sorry. I want that. I want the image inside. I'll move the image. Come on. There we go. Put that there. So all these little things that you're able to do, frames, bringing in elements, picture removing backgrounds, text effects. Before you'd had to go and learn Photoshop. Now all of a sudden in Canva, almost everything you want is there. Another thing that I do is I also upload a lot of my own images. So for example, I have folders on the bottom here. You'll see a whole lot of folders running here, and there's one there called Nick Cartoons. This is a little character that I often use. I can bring him in. So I can pop in Nick Cartoon. I can resize him. Put him there. I can even do effects on him. I can go to edit the image, and I can change, for example, the colors. I can say, okay, let's look at maybe dulling him down a little bit. This little dull down version, or I might want to brighten him up. I just want to undo. By the way, at the right here next to the resize button is actually a back arrow and a forward arrow. So quite simply, I can go back. I can get rid of that at the time. There are also amazing things called shadow, like I can add shadows to him. It automatically added a shadow to Nick. You can see if I go back one, he stands out just that little bit more. Add an angled shadow to him. Makes him look like he's standing off the paper a little bit. I can also animate things. So for example, if I'm making something that moves, I can make him come into the picture. I can make him rise up. So all of that. Actually, I'm not a big fan of animation unless you're making Instagram stories, but I can add Nick to him. I keep other things that I've loaded myself. There's another guy. If I want to use him for something, I want to show that you need to be on time. As you can see, when I dragged him right into the telephone or the frame. That worked really well for me. I might say, okay, no, that's not the one I want. Just bring another one in, pop it in there, try that one. So that's elements, frames, margins. Let me just delete some of these things quickly so we can use our blank canvas again. So how do I upload things? Well, quite simply, I go to my uploads, and there you'll just find hundreds of things that I've uploaded for clients. Sometimes I'm a little bit scared to even load my uploads in case there's something that I don't. There's a logo that I designed for this client. We're busy with his brochure. What I'll do is I'll open a file. I'm just going to open a file while we're here. Verbatim. Back up, dream images. Sorry. Go to my desktop. Downloads. I'll find an image, for example, that I've downloaded. Here's a milestone blanket that I'm doing for one of my clients. All I do is I grab that and I pull it across with me into uploads. And I let go, and it'll automatically come there into my uploads. So any image that you have on file, your own logo, anything else you've designed in Canva, for example, you've designed a logo in Canva. If I then click on it, there it appears there. As you can see, once again, this has a white background, which I actually don't want it to have. So I'm going to do that little trick again. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to go to edit image, and I'm going to go to background remover. And it's automatically going to find the background for me and remove it from the image for me. There we go. It's there. What I can do once again, go to edit image, go to find those shadows, add a drop shadow to it so it stands out a little bit more. And there it is standing out. So play with your images, have fun, do what you want with them, move them around. I can resize the image by dragging the corner. I can crop an image by cutting it in half or only showing the part that I want. For for example, I only want this little part to show, I can just drag that. I can move that around. There we go. Got a little image there. As I said, I can move it around. I can drag it around. I can, if I have two images, I'm just going to add the Canva logo here. You'll notice that one's in front of the other. Sorry, one is in front of the other. There's a button over here called position. I can go to the position and I can move it backwards. And now it's behind the canvas. So you can even your fonts, your pictures, you can bring them to the front. You can move stuff to the back. It's really, really simple to do and play with. What else have we done with grids and alignment? Oh, what about if I want to duplicate an item? Sorry, that mouse is clicking twice. Let's say I like this particular item on Canva and I want to duplicate it. No problem. Up there on the top right-hand corner is a button called duplicate. And all of a sudden now I have two of them. I can do that with everything. I can do that with photos. I can even do that with text. So for example, I'm creating a menu for someone. There's a menu. Just move that up there. Delete that. Sorry, I don't want to duplicate it yet. There it is. Now, these things are all grouped as an item. So when I drag this, I move them all around. Another thing that I can do with Canva is I can ungroup them. So I click on there and I click ungroup. Now what's happened is they're all separate images. So I can click on that one, hold shift, which means I'll get that one as well. Then I can duplicate. And all I've done is duplicate that part of it. And then shift. I can also do Control C and Control V, which is cut and paste. If you don't know the shortcuts, there they are. And I can create the whole menu just by duplicating things. There's another one. What I want to do with this one is actually want to swing it around a bit, just so it stands out a bit. Once again, I want to duplicate that one, hit the duplicate button. There it is. This one can be here. I can change the words in this one without changing the words in the other one. December 2022. That's not 2022 because I'm holding my caps button. Sorry. (2022). So that kind of gives you an idea of how easy it is to design things. Another thing I can do, I can drag my mouse and highlight everything at the same time. And if you notice when I hold down the button on my mouse, I hold down the left click, I highlight everything, get them all together and delete them at the same time. Remove the background at the same time. Now let's have a bit of fun. Let's do an invitation. Anyone got an event coming up? 21st, a wedding. Let's do a wedding invitation. Wedding invitation. Hit wedding invitation.
Mark, before you go on to that,
Yes.
We have questions in the chat box. Will you be answering them at the end?
Do you want to run through some of them now with me and then we can, sorry, I don't have the chat.
Yes. So there is a question here from Laura. It says, is there an optimum amount of pictures one should use on a pamphlet? Because obviously you don't want to overload the pamphlet. And she's also asked, can you make the duplicate image a mirror image?
Okay, so let's just quickly go into one of these designs. I just want to add an image for you, photograph. Let's put that one there. Resize it. So the first thing I'm going to do is just going to duplicate it. So I'm going to hit the duplicate button over there. Do that over there. Mirror image. How's that? I can't remember how to mirror image. Let me just quickly have a look. Oh, yes, you can flip. That's how you mirror image it. So by flipping things on the horizontal, that's how you mirror them.
Can you just repeat that step again, please, Mark? And can you put a link in Canva as well?
Okay, I'll tell you about links in a second. I'm going to quickly pick another image just for fun. We've got these hands here. Here are the hands. What I want to do with these hands is first of all, I'm going to remove the background just for fun. So edit image, background remover. Sorry, that sends it up to the server and then sends back again. So that does take, come on. Okay, there we go. I'm going to change the background so it stands out a bit. Let's put a little bit of gray in the back. No, that's a bit too bright. There's the background. Now, what I want to do with this image, first of all, I want to duplicate it. So top right-hand side is duplicate. There it is, it's duplicated. Move it away from the other image, put it in the other corner. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to go to flip, and I'm going to flip it on the horizon. So now I've kind of created this image with the two hands coming in from each side. I could do it with a handshake. I could do it. That's the kind of time when you really would want to duplicate or flip something. And also what I might do, for example, is landscape. I'm trying to get a picture of a landscape. Let's do an element. Element, landscape, or cityscape. City graphics. So just for a bit of fun, I could put that there. I could then duplicate it, put it directly underneath it. This time I'm going to flip it on the vertical. And what I'm going to do with the bottom one is I'm actually going to change that color so it looks like it's almost shimmering. Let's give it a little bit of a blue. That blue's a bit too, give it a blue. And let's change its opacity so that almost looks like a reflection of the image in water. There are, when you start playing, I'm not sure you asked me the question, but when you start playing with it and you start looking for the flips and the amount of creativity that's available to you is almost endless. So certainly any element you've got, you can flip it, you can rotate it, you can duplicate it. The one doesn't have to look exactly like the other. You can put effects on the one that you don't put on the other. And does that answer that question?
Yes, thank you, Mark. Can you please share with us how you would upload your own images?
Okay, I'm going through all that again. So I have a button here called Uploads. That's where all my uploads are sitting at that particular time. There's two ways I can do it. One of them is I can click on this button here that says Upload Media, which will then open a file. So let's see if there are some images here. So let's say I want to upload this image of my daughter now from many years ago. I just click open and it will upload it automatically for you. That's one way to do it. There is my image over there. Just go in there. You can see that it's uploaded. So I'm just clearing some space. I click on it. There it is. I might even want to try something a bit funny like that one. Let's see what happens if I remove the background on this one, just for fun. Maybe we can do something a little strange with my daughter now. So now I'm using my own image. I'm not using one of their licensed images at the moment. That's pretty good, I must say. So let's keep that there just for a bit of fun. And let's go into their photos. And let's see if we can find a bridge. Some fancy bridge somewhere. Put that one there. Oh, sorry. Just remove the one. Right click, replace background. There it is. Put my daughter now here on the bridge. To make it even a little bit more realistic, what I might want to do is go to edit image. Sure.
Brilliant, Mark. Thank you. And the
I'm
other
going to
thing,
add, so just for fun, I'm going to add a bit of shadow to us. I am here, yeah.
The other thing is just a reminder about sharing if you can put links in.
Yes. Okay. So what I want you to understand is what can have a link and what can't have a link. That's the very first thing to understand. A JPEG or a PNG is basically looking at a photograph behind a piece of glass. So if you can imagine, there's a picture behind a piece of glass. Please, whoever that is, can you mute? If there's a picture behind a piece of glass, a link will never work on it. So the only thing you can add a link to is you can add a link to a PDF. And a JPEG or a link does not work. So it doesn't, if I can type in the link, let me just get to my own website quickly. Like I said, what? I want to put in a link to my website. So I'm going to come here, hit there, Control V. There's my link, there's my website. If I download this now, there's my download button. If I download this now, even if I double click on it and I add link, there's a button that says link. So in other words, I'm going to make it a link. There is the link that I wanted to link to. Press enter. So it's now actually a link. But I'm going to download this as a JPEG. Click download. It'll appear in my download folder, and it'll also appear usually at the bottom left here. There it is. I'm going to open that image for you. Just want to bring it across here. There's the image. You will see that no matter what I do, I cannot click on the mark said what. It simply doesn't work. Once a link is embedded inside an image, you can do nothing with it. But if I download this as a PDF, as a standard PDF, and I download that, now I'm going to open the PDF document. There it is. And all of a sudden, the link is clickable. So the answer is not as simple as yes or no. It's yes, you can add links to PDF documents. No, you cannot add links to JPEGs or videos or PNG files. So the disadvantage there is that you cannot upload a JPEG to a social media site. You can't upload, sorry, not a JPEG. You can't upload a PDF to Facebook. So once you're in Facebook, it won't work anyway because you can't upload it. So what I try and explain to people is that wherever possible, put any links you want in the description. So for example, I might say, here, I might say, visit my website. And then in brackets, I'd put the link in the description. Excuse my shocking spelling. And I'm typing with caps. Link in the description. So they know where to go and look for that link. I could also put them kind of underneath each other. I can make this one a lot smaller than the other one. Not all the font has to be the same. So that's kind of how I would do it. I would rather tell people where to go find the link in the description than try and embed it in something that's not going to work. If you're sending out a PDF document, it's your CV, it's your company profile, it's a presentation, and you want the link to be live, no problem. Click on something, go up the top there where it says link, add the link that you want. You can remove it. You can do what you want with the link on that side. So did that answer that question for you?
I'm sure it did. Thank you, Mark.
Sure. Any other questions? I can see there are about 63 comments, but I can't see all of them.
So if you send an image in an email or a WhatsApp, can you then add the link?
Nope, you can only add the link afterwards. You can add it in the email, but the link itself will not appear on the image. So no link on an image will ever be clickable. Hope that answers that.
Thanks, Mark. Mark?
Okay, so I'm not sure. Someone asked me here, if I make my flyers for work on PowerPoint templates, which we have, I then change it into a PDF and import it to PS to save as a PNG or JPEG. Okay, so another thing that they've got on Canva, which is really nice, is this: when you go to create a design, there's also something there called import file. And you can actually import an image or a PDF. I want to see if I've got a PDF here. Problem with these PDFs is that they're multiple pages, and I wanted to find one PDF. But you can import almost anything into, there's a PDF. I'm going to open that, and it's going to import the PDF that I just made into my projects. First of all, should be coming up soon. Come on, where is it? Oh, there it is. It's busy uploading it. I just have to wait for it to finish uploading. Quite a big file. Then I can click on the keep the change PDF. In other words, now I have imported a PDF. Don't worry about the fact that there's a lot of pages here. And what's really interesting with Canva is that I can actually now move stuff around. Even though it's a PDF, I can edit my PDF. But what I can also do with this is, let's take, for example, this one here. I can take this one and I can download this one as a PNG. Now I have 34 pages here, but I don't want to download them all. I'm going to download as a PNG. I only want to download, I'm going to unclick that. I only want to download page 2. Click done. Click download. And now what I've got is that flyer that I made. I made it in another program. I exported it as a PDF. I brought it into Canva, and I'm now exported it as a JPEG or a PNG. So I'm hoping that helps Lauren. Show how to import your own images. We've done that one. Are your own saved logo? So let me, the logo is quite an important one because that one comes up quite a lot. Let's say I want to make a logo for someone. I want to create a design. I'm going to create a logo. Here's a logo. Just for the sake of speed, I'm actually going to use one of their logos. I'm not going to design it from scratch. And this person happens to be a baker. So there's the bakery. There's the logo. I'm going to remove the background. I just want that part of it. I want this to be in a slightly different color, just for the fun of it. And I want the bakery to be in a slightly different font, just to show you that I can still do all of these things. I'll use a font called Now, which I quite like. And the other thing I want to do is I just want to add something to it. I want to add a little bit of text to it. Okay. Now open in Bedford view. Okay, there it is. Let's make it like really small. That's all in one line. I'm going to give it a little bend. I'm just going to put it on there. So I've decided that this is actually the logo that I want, and I want to use this logo on all my design from now on. So the first thing I just want to quickly just make sure it's all in the middle. You see, I just dragged it all together and I'm finding the middle spot. Now what I want to do is I want to export it so in a usable format. So I'm going to go to download. I'm going to go to PNG and I'm going to make it a transparent PNG. And as I said, unfortunately, this is only available on the paid version. And it's one of the main reasons why I believe you should have the paid version. Now I'm going to download it. There it is. It's ready to be used. If I just put my mouse on it and I drag it up here, and I can put it back, drop to uploaded files. There we go. You can see it uploading there. Now it's there. Now I want to go and make a home. I want to make a flyer. I want to make a Facebook post to tell people that my bakery is open. Automatically gives me the exact size that Facebook wants a post to be in, so that no cropping appears or anything like that. Then I'm going to go here and I'm going to go to, no, I want to go to photos. Sorry, photos. Bakery. Look for a nice kind of faded image. There's a faded image. Not sure why I'm getting double all the time. Right click on it, set image as background. I might even bring down its opacity even a little bit more. Make it just a little bit more background. Now I can go to my uploads and there I will find the logo that I created. I can resize it. And in this particular case, it's not standing out enough. So what I'm going to quickly do is I'm going to go to my elements. There's elements over there. And I'm going to look for a shape. And I'm going to take one of these shapes that look like that. And I'm going to stretch it as much as I want. And I'm going to bring it down. And I'm going to bring it down there. And I'm going to change its position. I'm going to take it backwards. So I've now got that. Even tells me that I'm right in the middle, that's perfect. Then I can put my text. Here we go. Visit us today. Next door Tasha's. Looks a bit boring, so let's look for some really nice cakes, or go back to my photographs, go back to bakery. Let's create a little bit of excitement there. I'm going to go to my frames, elements, go find those frames again. Look for something that might give me got a bit of style to it maybe. What do we feel like? Not going to use a bagel. That would just be kitsch. You can, by the way, I could add letters. So I can, why am I getting 2 every time I click? B, A, A, K, E. You can see I'm using the guidelines to make sure everything's the same size. I don't even have to resize it. It kind of clicks and locks to it. So now I've got the word bake there. I can go back to my photographs. I can look for some cakes. Looking for things with color in them. Take that one, put it inside the B. Put that one inside the A. Put that one inside the K. Those inside the E. But as you can see, I mean, you can just play, mess around, have fun, experiment, keep things open, neat, clean. Make sure that what's important here is where we are. Visit us next door to Tasha's. We're now open in Bedford View, that we do baked goods. And let's do one more thing here. I'll go back to my text. I'll look for something a little bit darling, not very readable, but I'll just use it anyway for now. I can, Sundays. Top one, open on group them. I'll move that one to the I know it's not very readable, but that's just playing with the stuff that they've already done for you. Open on Sunday. So what we've done there, we've created our own logo, we've exported it as a transparent PNG, we've imported it into our own uploads, and we've used it in one of our things. If I want, I can just take that element again, Control C, Control V, I can duplicate it. I can move it around. I can put it there. I can decide that I don't even like the background. I can just remove the whole background, see if the white works for me. If it doesn't, I can go with something else. I can take this little frame that I created and I can even drop its opacity so it's a little bit see-through. Go back there, find another photo that I prefer. Bakery. Set image background. The possibilities, the fun is endless. My suggestion really is to take the time to go and watch those 4 videos that I've posted. They will give you so much information on what makes good design. I mean, this what you're looking here is messy. I'm trying to show you things we can do as opposed to how to design. When we do the Canva Advanced, we'll do a lot more of that. We'll look at a particular business and we'll design a few elements for that business. But more than that, go and play, go and have some fun, go make an invitation, go make a document. Just try. Are there any other questions? I can see another 24 messages have come in. What do you do to press downloads? Did you get that? I'll go through that once again. I'm just going to open one of my images. Cancel that one. There's the download button at the top. I can first of all decide what I want to download. I want a PNG, a JPEG, a PDF print, an SVG file, which is used for websites. It resizes files really easily. I can even download an MP4 or a GIF. So for example, I can look at that and I can animate that. I want that to breathe. Let's try the stomp one. Doesn't really like that one. How's the pop one? Where's the pop one? I can then download that as an MP4 video because now it's got some movement on it. Or I can even download it as a GIF, which is actually pronounced GIF, not GIF. The guy that made them said it's pronounced GIF like giraffe. If you don't think G's sound like J's, they do. I can also download that as a video. There it is. So let's say what I want to do with this is I actually want to use it for an Instagram story. So the first thing I'm going to do is over here, I've got a resize button, which is also available only on Insta, on the paid version, unfortunately. Instagram story, there it is. I'm going to just resize it. And now it's resized it perfectly for an Instagram story. Let's go back to my photographs. Let's put a bakery in the background. Set background image. Just want to, there we go. Let's just add one more thing here. Open now, just for fun. Put that there. See, I'm using the tar. I'm going to animate that as well. And I want that one to pan in. Great, I've got that. Now I'm going to go to download, and I'm going to download as an MP4 file. This can take a few seconds. If it's a very big file, it can take a minute or two, but it shouldn't be a problem here. Just wanted to download so you can watch it play. Open file. VLC. So there it is. Let's play it again. That open in Bedford view will not appear. It's just the description on the thing. So It's taken me a few seconds to create a small little Instagram story to advertise that my bakery in Bedford View is now open. And that's for me is the real power of Canva. Whereas before you'd have to phone a designer, pay a lot of money. You guys can start doing amazing stuff with your own work. Any other thing? Will the video automatically play in Canva? No, you have to click the play button. There's the play button, so I can watch how my plays. I could watch it here. You can also upload videos. You can upload your own videos and then put them in. How do you resize? As I say, I use the resize button over there because I have the pro version. Otherwise, what you'd have to do is you'd have to create a new one. So let's say now I want to make this into a Facebook post. I'd have to create a new Facebook post. Create a Facebook post. Then I would go to all my elements that were on that one that we just made. I'd highlight them all, press Control-C, go back to my new
Mike,
Facebook
is there a
post.
size limit for the videos?
Not that I'm aware of. I haven't, I don't, to be honest, I do not use Canva to design video because I do video on video editing software. It's powerful, and not for 1 second am I saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying I've limited knowledge of sizes and what you can do on video because it's the one feature that I don't use a lot of. So what I've done here, sorry, just to show you, is that I've now recreated that. It took me a little bit longer to do it, but I've now recreated the resize. That's not the one. I've now recreated this here in a Facebook post. Whereas if I've got the pro version, there's the Facebook post. I hit the resize button. I decide what I want it to be. I want it to be an Instagram. I want it to be even a desktop wallpaper. Click on desktop wallpaper, copy and resize. Does it for me. There it is. It's ready. It's exactly the right size for a desktop. Which, by the way, is the right size for a Zoom background if you want to play with your Zoom backgrounds and create your own Zoom backgrounds. Here's an uploaded video stored on your device or Canva server. As you upload it, it's on the Canva server, which means you can use it on any device. You'll always find it there. But once you download it, then it's on your own computer or in your own memory. If that answers that. Just use uploaded video.
Oh.
Neil, did that cover that? Neil?
Sorry?
Did that cover, did I answer those questions about the video?
No, just explain. So if I've got a video on my own device, if I upload it into Canva, is it on their server?
Yes, it will be, which means that no matter if I go onto one of my clients' computers and I open my Canva account, I can access that video. Yes, exactly.
Okay. And have you got a limit on the Canva server?
So far, I have got thousands of pictures up there and no limit whatsoever. They haven't even told me that I'm close. So I don't think there's any limit at all.
Okay. Just a matter of interest, what is the cost for the pro version?
$9 a month.
Okay.
In fact, if you click up here and you go to Canva Home, you go to pricing, you go to Pro, which is the one that I recommend. $119 a year for Pro.
Sure. Okay.
Build yearly. So, but for me, I see the value in it immediately. I see the difference between the free and the Pro to be so great. There were the 100 gigabytes of cloud storage. That's what I've got.
Okay.
I'd never seen that before, but there it is.
No, taking out the background is like a game changer.
Exactly. So remove backgrounds instantly. There it is. Resize images with the magic resizer. Save designs and templates. The background. It is a game changer. And if you're going to use it, I promise you, it'll be one of the best 1,500 rands that you spend this year.
Yeah.
Will be on this. And another thing you'll notice here, it says you're up to 5 people. So you can invite a team. So for example, if you're working with someone, you can give them access to your images and they can help you. So a lot of my clients like to try their own handed design, then they send it to me and they ask me to kind of fix it or move something or change something. So you can also collaborate with people.
Yeah.
My daughter uses my pro account for her school and varsity projects.
Sure.
And I'm sorry, I might sound like a Canva salesman, but I promise you it's money well spent and I don't get commission, sadly.
Yeah. Might get some clients.
Yes, I might get some clients, but I'm not going to get any. So, Jackie, thank you for joining us. Thank you, everyone. I hope you've learned something from it. I'll quickly just put up my own contact details again for you. Let's do it on here. If you want to get hold of me, please feel free. You're welcome to WhatsApp me anytime. Mike Said, 081-398-2190. And I am Mike at mikesaidwhat.co.za.
Mark, thank you so much. It's been an absolutely outstanding webinar, and you can see in the comments how valuable all the participants have found it this morning. I have posted in the chat box the registration link to join us next week for Canva Intermediate with Mike at 10:30 a.m. So I really hope that you will all be with us again next week. And before we close today, for those of you that weren't on the call earlier, I would like to put up the AutoJet donation poll. And I would like to encourage you all, please, if you are able to make a donation to AutoJet, you can do so now when the survey appears on your screen. Tamir, could you put that up for us, please? I would also like to say that it's been an absolutely packed to capacity Zoom room. We were almost on 100 people this morning. And thank you all. Mike, you have broken a record for us.
Excellent.
Another record broken. And we thank you all for attending. An hour and a half really felt like just a couple of minutes.
Trace, can I add something?
With pleasure.
So what I would recommend for one or two of the, in fact, for anyone who wants,